Uh, all right, guys. Thanks for joining. Uh, Part of today agenda, we are going to discuss in details connectivity establishment from on-premises to Azure SQL. Okay, so there is different approaches we can connect from on-premises. So this is the one kind of approach. Okay, so when we are doing initially POC kind of thing. Okay, so that we are going to exploring. Okay, so how we are going to connect by whitelisting of your IP address and all. So subsequent classes we are going to cover, the private endpoint and the public endpoint, how we are going to connect within the network and all. So that is in a different scope of module. Okay, so as per today agenda, basically, as I said, okay, so uh, this is yes, so covered some little bit of deployment and connectivity part, but still we haven't connected. So as part of the connectivity to elaborate the things, okay, so we have tenant ID, okay, it's your subscription, and then we just have your under the tenant as part of this management hierarchy, as we have management group. Okay, under the management group we have multiple subscription. Under the multiple subscription we have multiple resources group. Under the resource group we have a resource. Okay, so that is basically follow hierarchy structure. But today topic is how we are going to connect your on-premises data center. Let's say your workloads is currently running into this Azure landscape, right? So we just have subscription ID and the resource group on the single DB. Let's implement a step-by-step process so that we are clearly understand how we are going to connect and all. Okay, so that is what my agenda here. Okay, so that we can easily to understand this in implementation. Okay, it's a kind of POC. Okay, so we may call it as proof of concept. It's a very basic thing. Okay, so that we can easily to grab this connectivity. Let's implement this one first of all, including the cloud. Then after that, we'll go for on-premises, right? So what exactly I'm going to do now? Just I'm navigating to my Azure subscription. So here is my tenant ID. Okay, so this is my tenant ID. Okay, so we have the directory scope and all. Okay, so we don't have here any resources at this moment. Okay, so we are going to create based upon this POC implementation. Okay, so let's create first of all the resource group. The name is indicating here Azure SQL Dev RG01. Okay, so you can create first of all resource. Okay, or else we can create while creating of the resource also. Either the ways we can able to do, but a part of this POC, we are going to do some sort of step by step process. Let's do first of all resource group, right? So you are pretty much aware of creating of the resource group first of all. Okay, so that we can doable. Okay, AZ SQL Dev RG01. Okay, so AZ SQL Dev RG1. Okay, so RG01. This is my resource group. Let's keep this one as same as. Okay, so it is just quickly it is going to create. Okay, so it is not going to take much time. Let it create. Yeah, my resource group got created. Then after that, creating of the Azure SQL. So this Azure SQL creation we yesterday already did. Okay, so I'm just focusing of connectivity part. So just quick glance we are going to create once again. Okay, so what is the name that we indicated here? Okay, so this is all about CP test 01, Cloud Fix Test DB, and CP test SRV01. This is my database name, and here is my server name, right? So this is my database name. Okay, so you may call it as Azure DB name. Just DB name you can mention. Okay, so this is my database name, and here is my server name, right? So Azure SQL Server name. Okay, right. So this is my server name and this is my database name. It's simple. Just follow the naming hierarchy and all, so that you will get some idea what is the structure we are going to follow. This is my CP test DB. That's what I'm going to create. Okay, so let's take this one subscription. Since I have only one subscription in the drop down list, you can able to see the CP test one. And in the drop down list, we have just before created the resource group. You guys is pretty much aware why you are going to use that, resource group, right? CP Cloud Peaks Test DB. Okay, this is my database, and this is also you guys is aware of creating of the database CP test SRV01. Okay, so I'll give Cloud Peaks. What is the name? Test server, right? Test SQL SRV01. Okay, so let's keep this one as is. And the configuration prospect of, okay, so we'll use for the both the things. We'll connect by using of the both the authentication methodology, so that we'll have some verification method, right? So this Azure AD is basically it's as same as our Windows authentication, but it will have some in a drop down Azure AD connectivity as well, right? So here is my ID. Okay, if you want to create IDs, you can create your own IDs. Okay, that it will going to give you the information. Um, SQL admin, and I'll provide password. Right, so this is all about the creating of server. Yesterday we did step-by-step process, but today I'm just giving something like uh, connectivity part. I'm just going to focus on. Okay, that's what I'm just moving somewhat speed. Okay, just take this one as a DTU basic model. Okay, so that it is going to charge very lesser amount. Okay, so yeah, and we'll take it as in a local redundant only. Network part, let's keep it as is one. And the security also, I'm not going to focus. And let's do this, sample database, so that we'll have some data to verify it. Okay, so just click on review on the create. So this part we are pretty much aware. Okay, so since we discussed in detail yesterday, but today only the connection part. And post that we'll go on and explore it, each and every component within this. Sorry, within this database options, copying the database, moving the database between the resources, between the subscription, between the environment. So how we're going to take the backup and restore it, that also we're going to give. So one thing I want to tell, just moving of the data from on-premises to cloud, that it is as is a process, but once it is into the cloud, we'll have some complication to restoring move backward to the on premises. That is very difficulty. Okay, either the ways we can able to do by using of the backpack file, or else you just need to configure some replication. Okay, that is the one thing we can able to do. Okay, so we are going to stick with this cloud landscape once we move your workloads. So that is a disadvantage here. So other than that, good. But within the cloud, you can able to copy database, restore database, move it. That is very easy. But backward, uh, if you are going to restore it and do something, it is not work. Only it will work for the 2022 server. Okay, so the below 2019, 2016, that is not going to work. So maybe Microsoft is going to give some such compatibility options in next. Okay, so that is the only thing we have to remember. So everything was created. If you can see this deployment progress and all, I can see this. Okay, so it's still got creating process the database, right? So let it create, and then once after the creation, I just wantedly restricted to not connect from my on premises. So by the time what we are going to do, we just need to explore our on premises environment. So this is my one of the on premises SQL Server data center server. This is ops VM 2222. This is my on premises server. Okay, so it's as same as our database one. Okay, so we just have installed the SQL Server 2029 and 2016. Okay, so on premises, if you can see my server where I can able to verify it, the number of servers which I installed currently. Okay, so this is the previous one. Just disconnect this one. Okay. Uh, and let's try to verify it. Okay, so the connectivity part. Okay, so here is my management studio and this is my data studio. So both are you can feel as same as, but the thing is that only you can expect comparing to management studio. Azure Data Studio is a very high-end features is there. It will work as migration process as well, and you can do some data comparison as well. But whereas our management studio, that much of features is not available. This is like this is same as management studio, but it is an advanced feature enhanced from Microsoft end. Okay, so that is the only the thing. The rest of the functionality and all, it will work as is. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, okay, so let's minimize this one. Okay, so it is, and here is my on-premises server, right? So let's try to take that, connection string and try to connect it and verify it whether we are able to connect or not. Okay, so navigate our deployed database here. Okay, so everything is got deployed. So one is for server and database. All the things got deployed over here. It is showing something. Uh, uh, all the status information. Just go to this resource. Just if you are going to click that, targeting your database. So, or else if you can click on this one, SQL Server, where you can able to see my database and my server information here. Okay, so all the information we can able to see. Just click on this my server database, right? So in the database panel, in a overview, you can able to see this all status information, whether it is offline and online and all, everything is showing. But when you go copy here the instance, you could verify that what is the login we are using. You can able to see this. Okay, here is my server name. Admin is the SQL admin. That is SQL authentication. For a Windows authentication, we just have this information like, this is the ID where we are going to use. Okay. So let's see this, network also. In the network part itself, we can able to verify it. So it is got disabled. When you are trying to connect, it definitely not going to connect. Okay. So that is the expected behavior. Why? Because they restricted, right? So what I'm going to do now, let's try to connect and verify it. First of all, SQL authentication, right? So just bear with this. My server is a little bit busy because of the configuration thing. Okay, so just copied my server name here. Okay, so CP test SQL1. The user ID is this, and try to connect. Okay, so if you're trying to connect, okay, so it is not going to give some sort of error related stuff. Okay, so see, the network issue is going to happen. So the connection was successfully established server, but then this during this pre-login handshake, a TCP error it is going to occur, right? So what does this mean? So just because of the firewall issue. Okay, so just navigate to this server and just uh, select this network. Okay, so select in the network in the public access. Okay, so private access is different. We are going to create, private endpoint that only we are going to connect. Public endpoint, they select the network. So here the three options. Yesterday I already told. If you have within the VNet, so your resource group specifically you are going to use that, you can able to add that any VM and all. If you can easily to connect here. Okay, so that is a different approach. Okay, so to connect from IP address configured firewall rules, select this, access this database by default. Okay, so IP addresses. So how we are going to use that one? So just simply we are going to add here. Okay, so where I need to find my public IP information, let's see that I'm able to fetch or not. Okay, so my public IP. Okay, so my public IP, just simply click on that one. So it will give you a public IP result. So this is my IP version 4 or 6, but we'll consider as a only IP version 4 only. This is my public IP. Just copy this one, go to the portal first of all. Okay, go to the portal and try to give starting IP, ending IP same. Okay, so in a real time, what exactly we are going to use? Okay, so the starting IP and the ending IP. Let's say in a database team have 4 members. Okay, so individually you can able to add the one by one IP. Okay, so my IP is 105, and other rest of the IPs have like 5, 6, 7, 8. You can mention like this, so that in between uh, uh, these two systems can able to connect. Okay, so that is what it does mean. Okay, so this is one kind of approach. Let's save this one so that you will get updating option publicly we can able to connect. Once it is successfully connected, we'll go and try to reconnect once again, so that it is going to connect successfully. So because of, see, I'm able to connecting now. So it's simple thing is where you have like uh, it's a kind of connectivity process. Okay, so yeah, because of our methodology whitelisting just before, so that we are able to connecting, so it won't give any sort of uh, errors over here. Let's see whether we are able to connecting or not. Is there any issue we are face? Okay, let's see this, and we'll troubleshoot it. Okay, so now I'm able to successfully connecting here. Okay, so this is some sort of connectivity process basically. This is some sort of connectivity process. So what I'm trying to do, okay, so if you can see this, this is a normal process of connectivity by default. Okay, when you are doing the POC related stuff. Okay, so the other approach is as I said. Okay, so other approach is basically what I'm trying to do. Just I'm expanding here. Okay, so to connect from your on premises. Okay, so without creating of the network establishment, the site to site and the point to site related stuff, right? So you can able to see your data over here, whatever the cloud landscape. So to verify that, just go to your Azure SQL database. Okay, so within the portal by web based, also we have an option to try to connect and verify it. Okay, just click on this database. Okay, so where you can able to see the query editor process. Okay, it is in previous state, but we can able to leverage that feature within this one. So we have the either the ways we can able to connect. See, this is what exact it is going to go. Just in pop up, it is going to go. Just simply okay this one. Okay. So certification authentication methodology it is asking for the secure connectivity. It is the best one only. Okay. Just okay press. Okay. So it is going to ask. Now provide your password. Okay, this is the SQL authentication. We have configured both the ways, right? Windows authentication and sorry, Windows in the sense Azure AD authentication. So intra authentication is nothing but Azure AD authentication. you will connect either the ways. Okay, so first of all, I'll just try to connect my SQL authentication. Okay, so that we can able to verify the data. So it's simply connected. It is not asking anything. Just expand our data where exactly we have the data information, whether available or not. Simply right click. Okay, so try to fetch your rows over here. So the data is going to reflect. Okay, so we can able to see top 1,000 rows will be available here. So okay, so this is what I mean to say. Just drop down here. Okay, so most of the data it is going to reflecting. If you want to verify within the uh, uh, portal. Okay, so the other approach, what I'm trying to say, when you go in the on premises also, the same query, I'm just going to copy and paste it and execute now. Just copy this query. Okay, just copy, and you can create and deploy, you can modify whatever you want to do, you can do it. It is as same as the management studio. Okay, but advanced level, we have data studio that we are going to explore it in the next 5 to 10 minutes, right? Just take a new query window and verify it, the same data you can able to refetch in the cloud as well as the on premises. This is what verification process of whether you are an accurate or not. Okay, so the connectivity prospect of the simply thing what you can able to do, you just need to explore it, whitelisting of the process first of all. Okay, why I'm saying this is not recommended for the recommended for the any non-product the production, but initial phase validation purpose. Okay, so you can directly make some POC, proof of concept related stuff, so that this kind of approach we can able to connect by using of SSMS. We just did it. Okay, so on premises my server, this is my on premises server, right, as I said. Okay, so we just connected here. Okay, so this is going to hang. Just wait some time. Okay, it is going to populate, right? So let's say this, I'm able to open this data studio. My, laptop. Okay, so I do have my laptop, the data studio. Okay, so even I can able to connect. Okay, so to explore it, I just try to have my server. But even if you have the data studio with your laptop also, you can able to connect. Okay, so every time it is going to ask latest uh, things. Okay, so in data studio prospect of, if you want to connect on premises, it is also same approach. Okay, there is no change at all. So whatever the process we use for connecting from the management studio, it is 90% same as as management studio only, but advanced option we have, like data comparison, everything we have advanced option work there. Okay, so let's take the connection string again. Just navigate my server, take this let me make this one as a duplicate tab so that I can get uh, easy to copy that connection string information, right? All right. So I could able to see my database and my database instance information, right? So let me try to connect my local laptop. So this is also we will consider as a as like on premises. Okay. So provide your server information. Okay. So it is asking updates. So verify this. Okay. SQL admin and the password. Okay, so this I can able to connect. So the point is here we just need to verify the data, right? So let me take the same query over here. Okay, so whatever query we used, okay, just copy this one and paste it here so that the data is same, right? So here is the disadvantage is you cannot able to use database here. Okay, so for this Azure SQL. Okay, so that is the one limitation over here. So just need to use this one. This is top 1000, but the rows is have already only 847 we have. The first record is like if you can see uh, Arnoldo. Okay, so the first name, and if you can go and see this verification of the first record where you can able to verify it. Okay, so just rerun here. Okay, so that we can able to fetch the data information. Okay, so see the first data is Arnoldo, right? So it's the same as data. Okay, there is no change at all. Okay, so this is web based within the query, and can export this information, everything you can able to do. If you have any query and you want to do some new query window, so we will give multiple options over here. So parallelly we can able to execute it, and the result also can able to export, and like import also we can able to do. If you have the data saved, that we can able to do, but the data we can able to verify here by using of the SQL Server Management Studio, right? So the other point, what I'm trying to do over here, to connect your, database server. Okay, so that database server, uh, which we are going to copy the instance information, right? So just copy the instance information now. Here is my database server instance information. Go to this my uh, data studio and provide your authentication methodology. I don't have at this moment. See here, Azure Active Directory multi-factor authentication we have, but at this moment we'll use for the SQL authentication admin and the password here. So it is also will connect. Okay, just simply connect your database so that it is going to connect and reflect over here. Okay, so only the thing, the options which we are trying to explore it. Okay, so in the connectivity prospect of, let's see here, this is our latest management studio where we can able to see the multiple options here. Okay, Azure Active Directory and the password. Okay, if you have multi-factor authentication integrated, you will for but only the Windows authentication it is not accepting. Instead of that, you can use. But instead of Windows authentication, you are going to, if you are going to integrate with your on-premises one, that it is going to help you to connect. Okay, so that is what my point here. Okay, let's see this. The same query once after the connectivity establishment is done by using of the data studio, right? So now what I'm going to do, see here, this is my database here. Just expand databases. Okay, so we can see this our database here. Okay, just maximize this one. You have your own database list here. Just simply right click and do some sort of things. You can able to do it here, and if you have new query and the managing option, so in the managing option, what it will show, you will have some comparison, the schema information. You can able to export this schema information, table information, whatever you want to do, you can do. Okay. So, and also the connectivity option as well. Just query it is going to ask you and take that, existing uh, select query. Okay. Just copy this one and go and, fetch, try to execute. Okay. Just simply run, but the beauty is it is going to give complete structure and data visibility also we can able to give. So this is what we can able to see this one. Okay, so this is all about output information by using of the data studio. Okay, so we can able to export this one. Okay, and you can see this option to save as option, and also we'll have some and it will give some chart report as well. Okay, so this is basically extension it is asking, but if you can see this, the data it is going to fetch horizontally, vertically, and copying of images and all. So this is something different comparing to this our management studio, right? So all about this connectivity process by using of data studio and by using of the management studio. So this is completely we just established. Okay, so if you can see, uh, this is my management studio. We connected data studio. We connected. I just installed priorly this 2019. This is my on-premises server by using of connection type. This is okay. So this is in a connection type to whitelisting of your on-premises IP addresses in a firewall network. We can able to connect your database, right? So this is kind of POC environment. We can prove this one. Okay, so this is all about today class. Okay, so if you have any questions, I'm just making you unmute. Okay, so you guys can ask any question, and yeah, that's it. My okay, so. Maybe tomorrow we don't have, and Monday mostly we have subsequent modules like the other methodology. So we just exploring about uh, the networking option, right? So we have connect. So in the by default option also we have the data Visual Studio. If you are installed in your local system, it is going to integrate and do Visual Studio open. Okay, just open your Visual Studio and do connectivity and try to install and connect. That is also one type of process here. Okay, so it will give some advanced features as well. Okay, so all right. So if you have guys any questions, let me know, or else we'll wind up in next uh 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah. My question is like, do we cover it's kind of like DevOps kind of thing or like only SQL? Like,
So DevOps in the what are your expectation like database
no,
DevOps
no.
implementation?
Yeah, yeah.
Azure
Deploying
DevOps.
database, deploying some SQL DB in Azure DevOps kind of
Yes,
thing.
yeah, yeah. But it is not a framework of DevOps. Okay, so we will use for uh this tool actually. Okay, the Visual Studio code. We will take the code by using of this Visual Studio. We are going to deploy. So it's a kind of normal, it is not purely DevOps related, but we can have some automation process, Visual Studio process.
Okay, okay. So, like, what are the tools we are using right now for this migrations, like kind of things? Data
So
Studio and Visual
yeah,
Studio.
yeah, we will use, the lot more options. Okay, so one thing is we have, native method. Vegas is already pretty much away, and we do have migration process less than 300 or 350 GB used for, DMA tool, data migration assistant, and we do have, DMS tool, data migration tool. If it is an, minimum small database to 1 TB, 5 TB, also we can able to migrate. And here is the Data Studio. Just before we just connectivity process we use, but the typically what we will do. So if you can explore manage option, okay, so it is going to give you the migration process as well. So this is also one migration process we can find here. Okay, so it will give some options to explore the migration options as well. Okay, so this is one type of migration tool. Okay, so let me show that. Okay. So this is also one kind of migration tool which we are going to explore. Okay, so this is Data Studio. By using of this one, we can able to do, and manage Azure managed instance link by using of this also we are going to do migration, and SQL always and high availability, data sync and the replication, Azure migrate. So these many options we are going to explore it. Why? Because we did couple of migrations in a real time, so that we'll explore it in each and every things. Okay, but still we required some AZ connectivity, required some site to site configuration, and we just required replication also, some site to site configuration, and this Azure migrate also we just required site to site connectivity. So there has been a lot of dependencies to network level also that we are going to explore it by, we will use this many option to migration process.
Okay, okay. Okay, so do we cover performance monitoring, like performance tuning?
Yes, some extent, not wide range of things. Okay, so in a past prospect of, okay, so what I want to tell, okay, so performance related stuff is basically we will come into the scope of infrastructure as service. Okay, so when you go for the database related stuff, we have by inbuilt performance indications. What we are going to explore it, basically we are going to enable these options, identifying of the performance related stuff blocks. Okay, so the query related and the blocking related. So we are going to cover some extent. To be honest, it is more or less the 20 to 30% only. The main agenda is administration and the migration. We are most wide range of uh, covering aspects there, but it's a part of administration. We'll have some 20 to 30% of performance related stuff we'll have.
Yeah, okay. So,
Okay.
like from IaaS perspective, like we might face like performance issue. Like from on-prem, definitely we'll have.
Yeah, definitely. See, whatever we are, facing in on premises currently, the same kind of, 100% to 100%. There is no even single 0.1% it is not going to change. Okay. So only the thing is the possibilities of the resolution is very, easy. Okay. The query optimization, index creation, everything is, it is easy. But the only thing, let's say, if it is in the performance uh, uh, blocker is related to any hardware related, let's say your server performance very slow. Okay, there is a multiple factors going to occurring, right? So whether deadlock, blocking, locking system, bad query thing and all, right? Apart from this one, is there any dependency with the CPU memory kind of thing? We can able to easy to upgrading the process, okay, without downtime. Okay, that factor, it is going to